What's up, guys? We are live. We have a good card this Saturday. We got UFC Vegas 66. We got the main event. We got Sean Strickland versus Jared Cannonier. It's a great card, man. Last card of the year. So, honestly, we're going to go out with a bang. We're going to have like a 3-week break. I think the first card is in January 14th. So, yeah, man, good card, 14 fights. Hopefully, no fights, get scrapped here. There was actually supposed to be a lot more fights in this card, but they got scrapped. We're on a 3-card winning streak. Benny White is doing good right now. Last week, I got lucky with the Patty play. It was a very close fight. A lot of people thought Patty lost. It could have gone either way, but I mean, whatever. I'll take the decision win on Patty. I've lost a lot of close decisions, so 5.51 units on the night, 3-1 on bets. So my only loss was Thug Nasty. Congrats everyone out there that bet on Topuria. It was a good fight and a good play on Topuria. Like I mentioned, 3-card winning streak. So I want to do 4 and have a huge year next year. So without further ado, I'll check the chat real quick. What up, 2 cents? I haven't talked to you in a while, man. Hopefully you're doing good, man. Have a good holiday and catch some bets. Alex Ramirez, what up, dude? Haven't talked to you in a while, man. Hope you're doing good. And then Zeebs, what's up, man? I met this guy Zeebs at the card on Saturday, and he cashed a huge bet, man. I mean, you won like what, 1,500 on? I think he had Patty in there. He had Rosenstruck and Edmund Shabazian. Yeah, I believe so. Good parlay. I wish I would have tailed on that, but yeah, man. I don't care what anyone says. It was a close fight, and Jared Gordon didn't really do enough, dude. So congrats to the Patty cashers out there, including me and him. So won about 230 on that play. So let's go, Patty. Let's fucking get right to it, boys. So first fight of the night, man. We got Sergey Morozov versus Journey Newson. I feel like a lot of people are going to be, parlaying Morozov here. I think it's a close fight. Yeah, man. Morozov's, I think, 18-5, 33. Newson's 10-3, the same age. I mean, this fight kind of comes down to experience. Newson's 1-2 in the UFC. I mean, he got knocked out against Polarte, who's a complete bum. He got knocked out against Randy Costa, who was a complete bum. I actually bet on Randy Costa there, and I got plus money, cashed that fucking shit. And then last fight he beat Freddy Garcia, who's kind of a fucking fraud, who just got his ass beat against Brady Heesan. So Morozov's looked pretty shaky. He's 2-2 in UFC. He beat Khalid Taha, and he also beat Raulian Paiva, who I mean, yeah, man, Raulian Paiva, dude, that was a close fight, man. It really was. I think Morozov has a bit of grappling here. I feel like he needs to use that grappling here. Newson's a BJJ black belt, but I really don't think Newson's going to really offer much off his back. They're both pretty chinny on the feet. They're both small for the division. I think didn't Morozov used to fight at 25? I'm not really sure, but it's a close fight. I just don't really think Journey Newson belongs in the UFC, but I don't really think Morozov's a good fighter. So I'm going to go with Morozov. I feel like that he has a bit of grappling. Striking's close, but I just don't think Journey Newson is really anything. So I'm going to go with a pick for Morozov, but I'm not playing it here. I think a lot of people are going to be parlaying him here. Good luck if you guys are playing him, but not betting that fight, but I got Morozov. So, yeah, you didn't win that much. Okay, cool, dude. I mean, honestly, your parlay at all really came down to Patty. I mean, Edmund made it look easy. I know he got hurt a little bit, but he fucking smoked him in the second round. And Rosenstruck, I mean, complete, smoked, a cop, dude. And sucks, man, because you guys know how I feel about cops, dude. But, yeah, man. And then the Patty fight, it was a close fight, and we both won. So, first pick, Sergey Morozov. So far, guys, real quick, I got 3 bets on this card. Probably going to have a 4th one. I'm just waiting on the line. There's a couple people I like, but I'm just waiting, on the lines, basically. So I got 3 bets. Going to have 1 more. Maybe a 5th bet. Not really sure, but, definitely 4. So next fight. We got David Dvorak versus Manel Kape. Yeah, man, this is actually a really intriguing fight, dude. I've had a tough time with this fight. I like Manel Kape a lot from a fighter. I think that he's a great striker. But if you watch his tape on the regional scene, we know what it is with him, dude. He slows down weight, and his grappling isn't, the best. His grappling's improved, but I still think it's, the gas tank, and I question his heart a little bit. But, I do think that he's probably one of the best strikers in the division for sure. I mean, when he's on, he just didn't really look, like the Miguel Kape that we know in his debut against Pantoja. He had a very close fight with Nikolai, which Nikolai won. He knocked out, Zamagu, or what is it? Isn't it Zamagula? Yeah, the dude that he just lost, I feel like. Yeah, he fought Charles Johnson, yeah. Yeah, man, this is a very, very, very intriguing fight because Dvork got his first loss, I think, in the UFC last fight against Nikolai, who, Nikolai's probably going to be fighting for the belt pretty soon, dude. He's probably the number one contender. I think David Dvork has good cardio. I think he's good gas tank. I think he's good pressure. I think he's good boxing. I think that he has a grappling advantage. Just I don't know if he's going to be able to get down Manel Kape. So this all comes down, I feel like, to the feet, to the striking. And I think Manel Kape's a better striker. I think he's faster. I think Dvork does get hit a lot, but he's a tough dude. He made that fight close to Nikolai. It's all about if he gets the grappling going, man. I think he has the better grappling. Does he get down Manel Kape? I don't know. It's a very close fight. The line is a little off. Let me look at the youth. Who's the older fighter? Let me see. Because I think Manel Kape is actually not that old, even though he's been around for a long time. My bad. I should have wrote this in my notes. So he's 29, 17, and 6. He knocked out Ode Osborne too. So he's 2-2 in the UFC. Okay, so they're pretty much the same. Dvorak's 30. I mean, Dvork really hasn't fought anyone, dude. I mean, he's fought, complete bombs besides Nikolai. I mean, Manel Kape, has, Ode Osborne and Zalgas are pretty much bombs too. And I mean, I just feel like, Kape made it pretty close to Pantoja Nikolai. It's a close fight, man, for a reason. But I'm going to go with Manel Kape from a pick. I think that he's the better striker, and I think he'll win the fight, but I'm not really confident, dude, from a pick. I'm not going to go out there and parlay Manel Kape. So, what up, Big Ear? Yeah, Era Helwani. Zach Johnson, what up, man? Do I think Patty won? So honestly, dude, I've been going back and forth in it. When I watched it live, because I was actually at the card live, I thought he won. I went back and watched it. I can see where, people can score for Gordon because it's a very close fight. I mean, I think they scored the third round for Patty. So it's a close fight. I don't really want to get into it that much because I cashed the bet, man. I had the ticket, I cashed it. So I really don't really care. And I'm sure Zeebs agrees with me here. If the public scored it for Patty or not. I cashed on Patty, and it is what it is. It was a very close fight. It could have gone either way. If Gordon won the fight, I'm not going to sit here and say it was a robbery, dude, because it was a very, very close fight. So I just think everyone out there is thinks there was a clear decision for Gordon, and I don't think it was clear by any means. So, Zeebs, Dvork at plus 200 is a good value to add into a parlay for some juice and see what happens. Yeah, man, good luck if you bet on Dvork, man. I just think it's a very close fight, but when I think it's a close fight, I usually go with the dog, but I think Manel Kape is going to win this fight, so I'm going to go with another favorite. Next fight, we got, I believe it's one of my bets. Let me see. Yes, next fight, we got Brian Battle versus Renat Fakretdinov. We got Battle's 9-1. We got Renato's 19-1. So I definitely dug pretty deep in this fight. I've heard a lot of opinions on this fight actually after I made the bet. I think it's pretty much split. So Renat's 15-1. Who's real quick? I'm trying to think. Youth. I know Battle's pretty young. Okay, so Battle's 28. Renat's 31. Okay, so real quick, if you look into this fight before you even tape it, if you look at the records, Renat's 19-1. It actually shows that he has 2 losses, so I'm not really sure what's up with that one. So you look at his record, man. He has a padded record, dude. Yeah, he is on a big winning streak and stuff, but he hasn't really beaten anybody, dude. He's beaten a lot of bums. His best win's probably Eric Spicely, and I get it. He's a good grappler, but I really wasn't impressed with his debut against the worst fighter I've ever seen in my entire life, and Andre Michailidis. You look at Battle. He's getting better every fight, and he's actually dropping to 170 here, and he looked great in his debut at 170. I know it was only a minute, so we don't really know how he's going to look if, he goes 3 rounds. But, the guy is known for his gas tank. I've never seen him slow down. He actually beats people with the volume, and I think that his best win is a better fighter and a better grappler than Andre Petrosky, dude. Say what you want to say about that fight. I know it was on Ultimate Fighter, but Petrosky is a better grappler and a better fighter and a bigger name than Renat Fakretdinov, and Battles went in there and tapped him out in the second round. So make no mistake, Battles, will will probably get taken down here. But the reason why I like him so much is that his get-up game is so good and his jiu-jitsu is nasty. I think he's a brown belt in BJJ. He's a finisher. Most of the wins are by sub. And on the feet, if you watch the tape on Renat, dude, I mean, his striking is not that good, dude. I mean, and his gas tank is a question mark. I don't think his gas tank's that good. He slows down. He actually did slow down against Michailidis. And I don't feel comfortable picking Renat here. I mean, I know he's going to get takedowns. And you're not going to sit here and hear me say there's no way he gets down battles. He probably does get him down. But is he going to be able to hold him down is the question. And I don't think so, dude. So I like Brian Battles here as the underdog. I got 3 units on him at plus 115. I think that he's, a huge welterweight. And I love his striking, dude. He has great kicks. He has a great straight right, good jab, big for the division. And like I mentioned, he has a lot of volume, dude. He threw over 100 strikes significant against Tresean Gore. 77-inch reach advantage, or that's his reach. What is Renat's reach? Did I not write it down? Hold on. Let's see. What is Renat's reach? Okay, so Battles has a 3-inch reach advantage. I mean, like I mentioned, he's a good grappler. It's just he hasn't really been tested, dude. And he could even finish, Michailidis, dude. Like, that's not impressive. I mean, you're going against a complete bum, and yeah, you win the fight, but like, you actually slow down that fight. And you couldn't even beat that turd. I mean, I like the movement, the gas tank for Battles. Like I mentioned, I think he has a big advantage on the feet. He's a lot better in the striking game. If you watch the tape, you'll know why. 4 wins by sub. I mean, I just think he's going to gas and break a guy like Renat. So I think he can tap him out. That submission he hit on Petroski was fucking really impressive. And I think he's going to break. And I don't see why his cardio's not going to look good at 170. I mean, he's taking this fight on short notice. Obviously, it's going to be good. And I know he's dropping weight classes, but he looks in great shape. And he's known for breaking guys. The guy's cardio is probably one of his best assets. But if you look at this fight from a stylistic matchup, I just feel like it screams more ways to win for Battles. I mean, Renat has a better grappling, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold him down. I think Battles is a better jiu-jitsu. I think Battles is a better cardio. I think, Battles has a lot better striking here. Give me Brian Battles. I feel like he's going to go out there and finish, the guy that has the padded record. And I get it. Good record. But you dig in this fight, man. He hasn't fought anyone, man. And, Battles went out there and beat a good grappler in Petroski, who I think is a better fighter. So give me Brian Battles. I think he's going to weather the storm in the first round with the grappling and get back up like he always does. And he's going to finish Renat, man. I got him, hurting him in the body and tapping him out. Give me Brian Battles with the second round submission. Yes, Steves, we are on Brian Battles. I like Brian Battles a lot. He won the show. I think that he's going to be a good fighter, man, at either 185 or 170, but it looks like he's going to be at 170 now. So first bet, Brian Battle. Next fight, we got Rafa Garcia versus Jair Maheshate. We got Rafa Garcia, who is 14-3. We got Maheshate versus 9-1. This is a very good fight. This is actually one of the fights that I'm waiting on the line right now. So it actually opened at -110 pick'em. And now we got Maheshate, who's plus 115. I think on my book right now, he's like plus 100. So kind of waiting on the line. He's 5 years younger. So this is a good fight, dude. I bet on Maheshate last fight against Steve Garcia. Went out there and smoked him. This is a different matchup. I do think that Garcia is a better fighter than Steve Garcia, or that Rafa is better than Steve Garcia. But I got to go with my boy Maheshate here, man. And, I might be making a play on him. I'm waiting on the line right now, see if it gets better, which I think it does. I just think that he's so much better on the feet here, dude. Kind of like what I mentioned last fight. But, Garcia definitely has experience. He's 2-3 in UFC. He beat, Natan Levy, who's green, and I cast a parlay with him, recently. And then he also beat Jesse Ronson, who's a complete fucking washed jobber, dude. And, he got one thing I don't like about Rafa Garcia, besides that he's really undersized for 155. I mean, Machete's going to be way bigger than him. So I got Maheshate, who is, going to be a lot bigger, the size advantage, the striking advantage. But one of the main reasons why I'm picking Maheshate here and probably betting him, I don't like the gas tank for Garcia, dude. Like, I get it. He has a better grappling, and we haven't really seen Maheshate being tested in the grappling before. But I just think that I don't like his top control at all. And I don't really think he's going to be able to control a guy like Maheshate on the mat. and I've seen Maheshate go 3 rounds, on Contender Series. Like, his cardio is good. I just think that he's going to break a guy like Garcia, who we've seen in every fight, basically, that he's lost. He slows down. He slowed down significantly versus Drakkar Klose, and I like Klose, but he didn't really look good in that fight at all, even though he won. Chris Gritzmacher, I like the guy, but make no mistake about it, he's kind of a jobber, and he went out there and broke a guy like Rafa Garcia. So I like Maheshate, the 5 years youth advantage. You guys know that I like my guys that are younger. I think he's a good prospect, dude. He has a 3.5 inch reach advantage, 5 years youth, 4-fight winning streak. He's, like I mentioned, the striking advantage. He has a speed advantage. He has a size advantage. He has the cardio advantage. You're giving me 4 advantages right there. I got to go with that guy. He's known for his counter striking, dude. He has a good right hand, good movement. I like the guy's gas tank. And I don't really think Rafa Garcia, man, is, UFC material. I think he's a tough guy and he has a good chin. He's never been finished, but very low volume. I mean, he's taking a lot of damage. I think we can see Maheshate get a highlight KO here, kind of like we did last fight. So give me Maheshate, man. Finishing Rafa Garcia. And a lot of people are saying this is going to be a big fight for him because if he can go out there and beat Garcia, he's going to be the real deal. I think this kid's pretty talented, dude. I like his striking. And like I mentioned, I just listed a bunch of advantages for him right here. So it's a test because I do think Rafa Garcia is the best fighter that Maheshate's fought, but from a stylistic matchup, I like Maheshate here. So I'm picking the dog 2 fights in a row. Give me Maheshate by KO. And stay tuned, man, to Twitter and stuff. Might be playing him. I don't know if you know my Twitter, Zeebs, but it's UFC Bro Picks. So if you want to see if I'm going to make that play, let me know. We got a guy named Jovox who said Garcia wins. How do you think Garcia wins, man? Just, tell me and we'll talk about it. I get it. It's the biggest test for Maheshate's career, but I just think that Maheshate's the better fighter and a lot better on the feet. So next fight, we got Syed Nurmagomedov versus Kakhramonov. It's one of those fights that's hard to pronounce with both dudes. This is a good fight. This is a really good fight. This is another fight that I mentioned earlier that I'm waiting on the line. I might end up playing Nurmi here. So it's actually lined to pick him, and a lot of money's coming on Kakhramonov, dude. So, if I can get plus money on Syed, dude, I'm going to go in. But I feel like even if the line gets a little better, I might go in. I think he's a good fighter. I think both of you guys are good. Kakhramonov's a younger fighter by a couple years. But one thing I got to say off the bat is, who is this guy fought? He fought Trevin Jones, who's a complete jobber in his debut, and he got taken down and controlled for a couple minutes. And then he fought Ronnie Lawrence, who I actually had a bet on in that fight. Good fighter, but Ronnie Lawrence doesn't even have a grappling background, dude. Syed, I know he's a striker, but he has a grappling background. So is Kakhramonov going to go out there and take him down and control him? I just don't know. I don't really think he can. And on the feet, I think Syed's just a lot better on the feet. I know Kakhramonov, has a good right hand and he's a tough dude, but we've seen him be, knocked out before. We've seen him get touched up before. Say what you want to say about Syed, man. I know he coached in some fights. He's 16-2. He's 5-1 in the UFC. He's only lost against Ronnie Barcelos, but Barcelos has good striking and good grappling. I just don't think Kakhramonov has the striking that Barcelos has, dude. I think it's going to be tough for Kakhramonov to hold down and take down Syed. Maybe Syed lands some spinning shit and he gets, taken down. But I actually think Syed has great grappling. I think he could go out there and take down Kakhramonov. So, and if you look at this fight from a striking advantage, yeah, I got Syed all day in the striking. I think it's a big test for Kakhramonov. I think Syed is the better fighter. He has great kicks, great spinning shit. 78-inch reach. Hold on. There's no way Kakhramonov's reach is 69. Did I write that shit wrong? Hold on real quick. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. Syed's reach is 70, my bad. And then Kakhramonov's is 69. So they're pretty much the same. Like I mentioned, I just think that he has the advantage on the feet. I think he's the faster dude. He probably has the cardio advantage too. Grappling wise, Kakhramonov is, I think he has good wrestling, but just like I said a minute ago, I think Syed has good grappling too. We just don't see it because he's, he loves striking. So it's going to be really tough for Kakhramonov to hold him down and, win this fight with the grappling. And on the feet, like I mentioned, I think Syed is a better fighter. I like his boxing. I like his kicks. I like the body shots. I like everything about his striking. So you give me the guy who's a better striker, who's, faced better competition, and, 5-1 in UFC. Now Kakhramonov's 2-0. This is a huge step up, bro, from Ronnie Lawrence and Trevor Jones. Now you're fighting a guy who's probably a top 10 guy, a guy that went out there and tapped out Cody Stamann instantly, Douglas Silva Andrade is no slouch, and it was a close fight, but he definitely won the fight. And like I mentioned, his only loss against Barcelos, who's a good fighter, who definitely dropped the egg against Victor Henry. He dropped the ball against Victor Henry, but Barcelos is good everywhere. I just don't think, like I mentioned earlier, Kakhramonov has the striking that Barcelos does. So give me Syed Nurmi with the win. I think he's the better striker. I think he has a better cardio. And I think the grappling is very close. I think each dude can take each other down, but I actually think that the grappling's going to cancel each other out, and I think Syed might actually be the better grappler. So I got Syed winning the fight, and I like him here from a bet. I'm waiting on the line because he opened minus 150. He's minus 120. A lot of people are betting Kakhramonov. So, I actually might – it looks like he's going to be going to minus 105 soon. If I can get plus money, dude, this might be my last play, dude. So, Trevin Jones shouldn't be going out there and fucking controlling you and taking you down, dude, for, 2 minutes. And, the knockout loss that Kakhramonov has some spinning shit, too. So, make no mistake about it, dude. We can see a finish here for Syed. So, give me the more experienced fighter in Syed Nurmagomedov. Next fight, we got Julian Marquez, drawn Winn. Yeah, man, this is one of those fights where I don't want any part of from a betting perspective. It's a complete jobber fight. You got Marquez, who's a bigger fighter. I feel like he's a better striker. Deron Winn has the better grappling. I remember cashing on Oleksiejczuk de Tarico over Julian Marquez, and he took him down quite a bit. I think Deron Winn can do the same thing. I know Julian Marquez has good jiu-jitsu, but his gas tank's not the best. Both these guys slow down. Both these guys are at the bottom of the division. The only reason why I'm picking Julian Marquez here is I think that he's the bigger fighter. Deron Winn's just so small for the division. Would it surprise me if Deron Winn won this fight? No, because he's a tough dude. But I got to go with Julian Marquez from a win. Very tough fight to call. Maybe he gets a submission because I know he has a great submission. Maybe this is a fight that you bet live. I'm actually going to start opening up an account here probably tomorrow so I can start maybe doing some live betting, betting some props because I don't really bet any props. My bookie, I can't do any props. I can only do, straight bets or parlays. So, and you guys know me. I like betting, at the casinos. I like going in, and it's a superstitious thing. But I'm going to start doing that. So from a pick, Julian Marquez. Siebes said Syed submission in under 1 minute. Over submission was very impressive. Yeah, I know Staman's, slowing down, but it's still a good fight. Next fight, we got Jake the Flake Matthews versus Matthew Semelsberger. Yeah, man. Jake Matthews went out there and finished Andre Fiallo, who I don't think is that good. A lot of people are saying this guy's the second coming of Christ because he looked so good last fight. If this guy fought Jack Madalena right now, dude, I'd probably drop thousands on Jack Madalena. Who else in this chat thinks that Jack Madalena would absolutely destroy Jake Matthews? That would even be a fight, guys. Do I think Jake Matthews is good? Not really. I feel like he's overrated. I know he beat the Leech and all that stuff, but the dude is just so lost to Andrew Holbrook. The dude, fought fucking didn't have the best win against Diego Sanchez. He fought to a decision with Bojan Veljković. Dude, I get it. He looked great last fight, but I feel like he's still a fade. He went out when the going gets tough. The guy just can't, perform. Make no mistake about it. He quit against Anthony Rocco. It was a 1-1 fight going to the third, and Rocco's not really known for finishing anybody. And Rocco went out there and fucking submitted him, dude. And he made it a war. If Semelsberger makes this fight a war, he's going to win the fight. Maybe this is another live fight where Matthews looks good early and Semelsberger breaks him. From a pick, I'm going to pick Jake Matthews, but I think, from I think it's dog or pass from the line. I think Semelsberger could win this fight for sure. Matthews is the better grappling. He's technical, but Semelsberger is a brawler. And I know he lost to Morano last fight, but I think Morano's better than fucking Jake Matthews. So if Matt makes his fight a dog fight, we're going to see a lot of questions answered here. And I just don't think he's going to be able to win a dog fight. He's going to have to make this fight look very, very, very cute and, not make a lot of mistakes. So this is a fight that I might maybe play from a live betting perspective. Shout out to my boy Sean, the Canadian, best live better out there. So I'm going to go with Jake the Flake, but I definitely think that Matt Cheeseburger could make this a brawl, win this fight. Next fight, we got Cheyenne Buys, a.k.a. Cheyenne Vlismas versus Corey Mckenna. Yeah, man, I got a parlay on this card. I cashed my last two parlays, the last two cards. I know last card was a little controversial to Patty, but I'll take it. I got a parlay this card. I got Cheyenne Vlismas Buys parlay with someone else later in the card. I think it's a great match for her. Yes, she went out there and, lost due to grappling against Ruiz, dude. She took her down with the head and arm throw, but, 2-fight winning streak since then, and she was actually training at, what is it called? Florida MMA for that fight. And, before that, I think that she went on a big run. She was training in Vegas, and now she's back in Vegas at, Extreme Couture. 2-fight winning streak, so I think that she should have been there. I don't think the Florida MMA is a great camp, but I feel like switching camps like that, now she's back where, she's fought for her whole career, most of her career at Extreme Couture. She looked good, and she was supposed to fight, Tabatha Ritchie earlier. So, obviously, I feel like she's been putting in the work in her grappling. So, Corey Mckenna is the better grappler here, but can she take down Vlismas? Yeah, but can she hold her down? I don't think so. I think that this, Vlismas is just so much better on the feet. McKenna went out there and arguably lost to Kay Hansen. I scored that fight for Kay Hansen, who's a complete fucking bomb, who's actually a porn star. Anyways, back on this fight. Vlismas is so much better on the feet here, guys. Big speed advantage, more power. Good right hand. I feel like she's one of the best strikers in the division. I know she has some shit going on with JP Buys and all that stuff, but make no mistake about it. 4.5-inch reach advantage. You're giving me 58.5 reach for Corey Mckenna. That's a fucking terrible reach. Come on, dude. A girl with that reach. She's tough. I'll give Corey Mckenna the benefit of the doubt. 2-1, 1-on contender series. Tough girl, but if you're getting, beat on the feet pretty easily against Elise Reed, who I think Vlismas is way better than and a lot younger. I think Vlismas could actually knock out McKenna. McKenna's taking a lot of damage, tough girl, but Elise Reed hurt her in that fight. Vlismas hits like a truck. She knocked out Gloria DePaula. She fucking, dominated Mallory Martin, who is, a good, decent fighter. She's a grappler too, by the way, and Vlismas stopped every takedown attempt. So, Vlismas lands 5.83 strikes, per minute, and she absorbs 2.93. You got McKenna, who lands 3.47 and absorbs 3.13. I just think that the striking advantage here and the speed advantage and the reach advantage is key. Great right hand for Vlismas. It's going to be there all day. The right hand was there all day for Elise Reed. It's going to be there all day for Vlismas. I just don't think that, McKenna's going to be able to have success in the grappling. I feel like the Cheyenne's, been putting in the work in the grappling for sure. So I got to go with Cheyenne Vlismas. I think she knocks out Corey Mckenna, who's a lot slower and has a very, the disadvantage on the striking is huge for, the advantage in the feet is just so big for Vlismas. Give me Cheyenne for Vlismas to win this fight by finish. And I got to parlay with someone else later in the card. First fight of the night of the main card, we got Cody Brundage, Oleksiejczuk. Yeah, man, this is a good fight. I really want to see. This is probably a good fight live because if Oleksiejczuk, doesn't finish Brundage in the first round, he could gas, man. We've seen him before. He slows down a lot of those fights. I feel like he's finally at 185 now. We're gonna see, how his gas tank really looks. He smoked Sam Alvey. He was. That's the thing with Oleksiejczuk. Good boxer, good striker, good fighter, but just terrible gas tank. We don't know about his grappling either. Brundage is a better grappler. I just think Miguel's so much better on the feet. I think Miguel knocks him out, so that's a prop that I'm looking at. Miguel by KO. Maybe bet this fight live, but I got Miguel Oleksiejczuk by KO. Next fight, Drew Dober, Bobby King Green. Yeah, I got to play in this fight, guys. I got 3 units on Bobby the King Green at plus 135. Age difference are around the same. Green's 36, Dober's 34. Green's coming off that Islam Makhachev fight. He shouldn't have took that fight. I mean, he lost to the best fighter in the division, Before that fight, he was on a very good run. I mean, he beat Ali Quinta. So he's 2-1 in his last 3. He knocked out Ali Quinta. He beat Nazareth. He had that fight with Moises, which he won, in my opinion. He should be 6-2 in his last 8 fights. I mean, that Moises fight, I thought he won for sure. I mean, if you look at this fight from a stylistic matchup, I feel like it's a good fight for Bobby Green. I mean, he definitely, I feel like, has a speed advantage here. I think that he's a little more technical than Drew Dober. I think Drew Dober has more power for sure. But both these guys have great gas tanks, and Dober really beats guys that slow down. I mean, he beat Mckenna, who always slows down, and he beat not Javier Garcia, what's his name? Rafa Albazi, because he slowed down. I mean, both those guys were huffing and puffing, and Bobby Green has great cardio, and Bobby Green's movement is just going to be the key here. And I actually think he has the grappling advantage too. So if he wants to mix it up, he could, take him down. 5.88 significant strikes landed for Bobby Green. He absorbs 3.65. You got Dober, who lands 4.47 and absorbs 4.16. I think Dober's a good fighter. I like him, but he takes way too much damage. I feel like that his chin is a great chin, dude. But I feel like one of these days we're going to see him get knocked out stiff. I think Bobby Green can just piece him up, man, and do what he always does. Pick him apart. Great defense. People don't really act like say the defense for Bobby Green is that good. I mean, who has knocked out Bobby Green? Dustin Poirier. I mean, besides that, Islam on the mat, but come on, dude. I mean, if you look at this fight from a stylistic matchup, it's a close fight, and I think Bobby Green should 100% be the favorite here, dude. I mean, good volume, great volume. He had a very close fight with Hopper Fiziev. It all came, come on, dude. That was a close fight. He actually won the 3rd round against Fiziev. I mean, dude. And I know Riddell's going out there and taking down Dober. That's probably why he won the fight. Albazi took down Dober once, McKinney twice. Riddell 5 times, Alex Hernandez 3 times. Green has a better grappling. We just don't see him use it because he has a great striker. He's a great striker, but he took down Moises twice. He took down Patrick 4 times. Took down Lando 3 times. He has the better grappling. I think that he has the speed advantage here. And I think from a striking fight, it's a very close fight, but I think he's better on the feet. I think that he has great movement, good boxing, and he's going to pick apart Drew Dober with this movement, dude. And I just don't see a lot of people, giving Bobby Green any, praise. Like, he's a good fighter, and he's been on a good run lately, guys. Like I mentioned, he should be 6-2 in his last 8 fights. His only losses against, Makhachev and Fiziev. I thought he definitely beat Moises. He landed 80-40, and he loses the fight. That doesn't even make sense. It's a huge robbery. Good right hand, good straight left. So, but make no mistake about it, Dober is a good striker too. Good pressure, good cardio. He just, gets hit a lot, man, and he's slower than Bobby Green. I think Bobby Green's gonna stick and move, and if he doesn't get caught, he's gonna win this fight. It'll be Bobby Green, and that's one of my plays. 3 units plus 135. The movement's going to be key. Next fight, we got Alex Caceres, Julian Erosa. My parlay that I was talking about is parlay with Julian Erosa. Now, I will say real quick, Julian Erosa, is usually a guy that, a lot of people like to bet as underdog money. But in this matchup, I feel like it's a good matchup for Julian Erosa. I feel like he's really coming in the zone. He's 5-1 in his last 6 fights. I know that his chin is definitely, the negative with him. But his last fight, last time he got knocked out was 2019 against Choi? Was it 2019 or 2021? Okay. He hasn't been knocked out. That was his only knockout loss since 2019, I think, right? Yeah. So he's 5-1 in his last 6 fights. That was the best Erosa we've seen last fight against Hakeem Dadawa. Hakeem Dadawa, I think, is a lot better than Bruce Leroy. I think he has way more power than Bruce Leroy. And Erosa went out there and dominated him, won every round. I like Leroy. He's improved. They're around the same age. But the reason why I like Julian Erosa so much here, guys, is I don't think Leroy's going to have the power to hurt a guy like Erosa. If Hakeem Dadawa can't go out there and hurt Erosa, is Leroy? And I think Erosa has the better grappling here too. I know Leroy's good at grappling, but size, size is a huge thing in fights too, boys. And Julian Erosa is going to be a lot bigger than the former bantamweight dude. Erosa's a former lightweight, so they're both good strikers. I just think Erosa is the better striker. I think he has more power, And they both have great cardio, good pressure. But I love Julian Erosa's uppercuts last fight. And maybe I'll get some shit for parlaying him here, but I just feel like this is the best Rover we've seen. And I don't see him losing to Bruce Leroy, dude. So Julian Erosa, man, I mean, that kid's volume, dude, is fucking nasty, dude. Like, he lands so much, dude. I mean, what are we? 155 strike against Peterson, 92, against Hakeem. He has a better grappling, like I said, too. Yeah, I think it's a good fight, guys, for Julian Erosa. So, got a parlay of Julian Erosa and Cheyenne. Vlismas. Let's go. Next fight, Amir Albazi, our Alessandro Costa. Yeah, I got, Albazi here, dude. I mean, he was supposed to fight more Royval. I don't think he's going to lose this fight against the newcomer. Amir Albazi is a good fighter, good grappler. Definitely one of the guys you need to look out for in the division. Give me Amir Albazi. Next fight, Arman Tsarukian, Damir Ismagulov. Jesus Christ. Damir Ismagulov. I can't even fucking talk. Damir Ismagulov. Very close fight, man. This is a fight right here that I've, had a very tough time with. It all comes down to if I want to fade Arman Tsarukian. And I did with Joel Alvarez, and I paid the price. I didn't bet the fight with Gamrot. This is a good fight. And I do think Damir has a good chance to win this fight. I mean, I think that he's very technical. He's, 18-1. But, I mean, he just really hasn't. This is a huge test for him here. I mean, Arman Tsarukian won a round against the champ. Arman Tsarukian had a very good fight with Gamrot, which I thought he won. Yeah, no one's really taken down Damir, but Damir had a very close fight with Garam. Who's the better striker here? I think it's Damir. It's just Arman's 3-round fight. Arman's gas tank and his grappling is really good. It's tough because I want to pick, and I want to pick Damir here. But I'm going to be smart about this. I think Arman Tsarukian is the better fighter. I think he's going to win this fight. Give me Arman Tsarukian with the grappling. I got Arman Tsarukian. Main event, man. Sean Strickland, Jared Cannonier. This is one that I'm thinking about playing, man. It's just, do I want to get burned? Like, I'm a fan of Sean Strickland. I like the guy. It's just his fight IQ was so bad. But then again, that was Pereira. I mean, if you do that against Pereira, you're going to get caught. He's 7 years younger than, Jared Cannonier. I mean, right there off the bat, you guys know I like my youth advantages. It's a big advantage. Cannonier just fought for the belt. He lost. Where's his confidence at? I like guys. I like going against guys that just fought for the belt and lost. Sean Strickland has a lot of advantages in this fight. Striking-wise, Cannonier, more power, good leg kicks. But boxing-wise, I think Sean Strickland can just box him up all day. I mean, he has a great jab, a good straight right. I mean, is he going to fight smart? If he fights smart, he goes with the grappling. I mean, Brunson hurt him on the feet, though, guys. So, I mean, Sean Strickland can definitely hurt him on the feet. Speed advantage, Sean Strickland. Cardio advantage, Sean Strickland. Grappling advantage, Sean Strickland. Striking advantage, probably Sean Strickland. It's just, do I want to trust Sean Strickland? Like, especially after last fight. I mean, I just got burned with Kevin Holland, and I got burned with Sean Strickland. I don't know if he's going to go out there and grapple. If he does, he's going to make it look easy. If he doesn't, he can still win the fight, like I mentioned. I think his volume is so good. Cannonier's taken a lot of damage too, guys. He's been knocked out quite a bit, 2 or 3 times. I like Sean Strickland here. He has a lot of advantages here. Will it surprise me if he gets knocked out here? Not really. But one thing about Sean Strickland, he is a very tough guy, guys. Like, he's a very durable dude. He got knocked out against Pereira because he had his hands down against, the best striker in the division. He's fighting a guy who's 7 years older, who way less volume. I mean, Sean Strickland, advantage, more volume. Sean Strickland's striking is really good. I actually think Sean Strickland's the better striker. It's just Cannonier has more power and has those leg kicks, but Sean can mix it up. And Sean just beats guys with the volume, and the cardio. So I like Sean Strickland here, guys. Bets wise, 3 units on Bobby Green, plus 135. 3 units on Cheyenne Vlismas and Julian Erosa, plus 142 parlay. And I got 3 units on Battle, plus 115. Tune into my Twitter, see who I'm also going to bet. Probably gonna have one more bet. It's waiting on the lines. Like I said, I like Maheshate. I like Strickland. I like Syed. So we'll see. Might do some live bets too. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna sign up tomorrow, do some prop bets. But those are my bets. Let's do one last recap. My picks. I got Sean Strickland. I got Armor Tsarukuan. I got Albazi. I got Julian Erosa. I got Bobby King Green. I got Oleksiejczuk. I got Vlismas, aka Bias. I got Matthews. I got Marquez. I got Syed. I got Maheshate Battle. I got Kape, and I got Morozov. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, comment below, and I'll get back to you. Yeah, man, can't wait for next year. Great title fight. We got Jamal Hill versus Glover Teixeira. Gonna drop a big bet on Jamal Hill there. So thanks, guys. Peace out. Let me know your bets and everything else later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let's finish the year strong, guys. Let's go.